All right, let's start this again. Hey, what's up, everybody? How y'all doing? And welcome to another episode of Recognition and Respect with your boy, Shneaky. Today, how's it look? It looks good, right?
Hey, you know what? I gotta say, I look pretty good in this camera.
All right, great. So today, we're joined by LinusDayz. That's one word, one S, and one Z. But not where you think. Oh, man. That's a deep cut for the She-Hulk peeps out there. What's up, bro? How you doing?
Good. Just first of all, that's a great way to explain my name. I need to tell more people. The amount of times that people have misspelled my name on a flyer or said my name incorrectly. That's probably mostly on me, though, for picking such a ridiculous way to fucking spell a name. But that's okay.
You know what? Everybody wants to add a C to my shit.
Shneaky? How?
Yeah, because they think like school.
That's like German shit, though.
Sneaky, school, it's like Schlinch,
yeah.
Yeah. So everybody wants to add a C to my shit.
That's fucking weird, yeah.
And then when I spell sneakiness, everybody's like, so is that with an I? And I was like, no, it's like sneaky with the Y. You just add the ness. You just add the ness.
You can't change the original name in order to add the ness. Like,
right?
why would you do that?
Man,
like, what
come on. Why are we even here? Why are we here, world? So this is Recognition and Respect for avid listeners and followers of the podcast, which there can't be too many out there because, in all fairness, I'm not consistent enough. I definitely don't do it with enough intention. So if anybody is out there who's listened to every single podcast I've ever put out, you'll know that this is Linus's second time being here.
I legitimately forgot there was a first time.
Well, it was during the time that we do not speak of.
Before times.
I was calling it a crisis. I re-listened today, and I didn't want to say pandemic or
COVID. We're like pussyfooting around.
Yeah, I was like the crisis. I was like, Jesus, I was really scared of
the one thing I do remember
because they were like scrubbing stuff for talking about COVID and shit. Right?
Weird.
So I was like, the crisis. This is not the pandemic. It's the crisis.
Yeah, it was a very weird time.
It was April 2020. It was a whole. We were living in a whole different world back then.
Damn, that's like almost 3 years ago now. I mean,
in 4 months, 5 months,
yeah,
6 months. Yeah, I mean, we
there,
got some time. Now it's like half a year away.
This year's over. Right? I already all my baskets have been cast. You know what I mean? Like, I'm on the home stretch here. There's nothing else left to do other than just finish what I got. You know what I mean?
For artists and creatives, and entrepreneurs who are not working directly in retail and sales of things, yeah, this is a time where this is fourth quarter, bro. Fourth quarter
this is the last blitz. We're gonna see what we can fucking do.
I have been learning that there is a whole segment of entertainment folks who get paid the most money at this time. I'm trying to enter that world.
What do you mean, like Santa impersonators?
No, we'll talk offline, bro. We'll talk offline. Can't give my secrets out here. I've given too much to Twitch. They get too many exclusives here on Twitch, man. They heard about the records before they drop. They hear about. We get drunk and forget that we're live. And
we just leak shit.
We just start saying shit. We're like, yeah, that secret album we're working on. But so we're here for a couple reasons. So first, the reason why I bring up the last time you were here is because I just want to follow up on some things. Okay. If you weren't here last time, you're part of a death metal band, or you were at the time.
Still am. Still a part of the team there.
You started DJing in 2016.
That's right.
And the last time you were here, we talked about this band that you were in since you were like 15 years old, right?
Well, no, I've been playing music since 15,
Got it.
bands and
All
stuff,
right.
but
So, I need to understand my own interview. That's great. So back then, DJing was kind of your side project.
Right,
and Inhuman Atrocities was the main thing that you were pushing.
Exactly, yeah.
It's not the case anymore, right?
No, it's kind of flipped just because I've kind of found myself making money for the first time as a musician. And once you start, you're just like, yeah, I'm not fucking, I let a lot of other musical endeavors kind of slide just because I'm just I just recently bought a car. I've never really been able to do that. Just,
off of DJing, bro. Off of DJing.
It's so sick. It's fun. It's cool. It's a cool job too. You know what I mean? prior to that, I was working in a fucking drive-through, man. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, no, yeah.
So
It's
I'm
definitely
just like-
it's definitely a long way from the
so
drive-through.
it's like, yeah, I'm never going back. Like, I'm not.
I remember my high school music teacher. I went back to visit, and he asked me if I was still doing music, and I was like, "Oh, I quit the band and I'm DJing now." And he's like, "Oh, you're actually getting paid then?"
It's so funny how like it's
And
understood
he was like
immediately.
60.
Yeah.
He was like 50, 60 or something. He knew.
Understood,
Yeah.
yeah, because like I said, like before the DJ thing was a side project, I took a gig out in Pico Rivera where it's like a bunch of like metalcore bands were playing, right?
Yeah.
And so I happened to know a shit ton of people there, and they hired me to DJ. And to show you the level that I was at that time, I brought speakers, I brought a tape, whatever. I got paid, I shit you not, $60 for that gig, and I played from 6 p.m. till about 1 a.m.
I mean, that's how you start, though.
I look back on that time though, but it was so priceless because a buddy of mine was there, and he's like, "Oh, that's right, you're DJing now, man. That's cool. So you making money yet or what?" And that's like immediately where everybody goes.
Nah,
yeah.
but honestly, though, like I always tell people. Well, I mean, there's like a story that like the myth, the mythos, you know, the background, the history of it all is like, yeah, man, like you don't know what you have to put in to like be able to get to this point, right? Like, if I'm asking you for $250 or $300 an hour,
like, hey, that's
it's because
yeah,
I've earned that. Like, I've worked to this point. Like, I already put in my time doing fucking family parties for free or giving the homie discount. You know, now it's like I'm out here. I'm bringing fucking top of the line gear. I'm bringing fucking
shout out to QSC. Shout out to QSC.
Sponsor me. Yeah. I'm bringing top of the line gear. I'm bringing fucking 10 plus years of DJ experience and 15, 20 plus years of music experience. My exquisite music taste. The way I also like my interactions with people, how I handle business. Like, come on, bro. I'm bringing a lot to the table. So
this is the thing that I always tell people, like when they like try and book me and they say like it's too much. It's like, look, if it's really too much, then don't get me. However, though, if you want a fucking good DJ, just pay the price, buddy. Like, I mean, if you want a good DJ, just pay it. It's gonna be a good party if I'm there. Like, trust.
Well,
like,
I always tell people like
do
this
for a minute. Like,
I was like, especially if it's like a wedding or a quinceañera or some
Dude,
shit. I'm
yeah.
like, look,
dog.
it's supposed to be the most important day of your life, right?
Don't just leave
You're
it to
making
anybody.
memories that are supposed to last a lifetime, right?
Yeah.
This is supposed to be one of the happiest, biggest, most important days of your life, right? And you're gonna skimp out on the music, on the entertainment.
The ring is half a year's
on
salary.
the entertainment,
right? Or 3 months salary,
you're inviting hundreds of people to a place, and you're skimping on the entertainment. Come on, bro.
Yeah, like drop.
Think about it.
Just
think about it.
They should just skimp on the catering and get a taquero.
Just think about
and
it.
Just throw a little bit more. You know what I mean?
Think
It's
about
like,
how
it's
important this day
yeah.
is. Think about how important this day is. And
Yeah,
think about how
dude.
important music is and entertainment is to people who come to these. Think about all the weddings you've been to that had a
That's
shitty
right,
DJ.
Oh my god, the amount of weddings that have probably been ruined by a shitty DJ, right?
Oh, God.
Yeah, like, you know, there have been probably shitty DJs that have caused divorces.
I mean,
I mean,
or
if we
it's
could
just
bring
like,
up the statistic on that, that would be amazing.
nah, I'm pretty sure, though, there was like a shitty DJ is what made it a bad wedding, right?
Right.
The food could have been perfect. The ceremony could have been
Beautiful.
beautiful. The bride, the
White
dress,
doves.
everything, right? But if the after party where the DJ's playing was shitty, everybody's going to remember, damn, that wedding wasn't that cracking, you know what I mean?
No.
It's a thing. All right, so let's go back now. DJing's your main thing now. At the time when you were here, back in 2020, you were promoting a music video for a band, for an album that was coming out. Did that album ever drop?
No, it didn't.
Okay, good. Let's move on. One thing you did say, the pandemic was going to help the artist community. Do you think that happened? Did you think the pandemic helped the artist community?
Okay.
Looking back now from where
This
we're
is
at.
the way I see it because I have, like, in the EDM side of DJing and producing, I have buddies that, like, when the pandemic started, they were relatively unknown.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like, for example, my buddy Andrew Lux has a release on Nightbase. My buddy Mr. Stilo, shout out to him. He's, like, been playing all the big clubs, like, this past year. I have a bunch of, like, friends that are, like, just doing big things now. And all these guys, when I met them, was during the pandemic because we all joined this producer group chat.
Right.
And at the time, everybody was...
Is that who you're doing the live streams with? Or is that a different group?
That's actually my own collective. That's who I was doing that
So
with.
okay.
But
Continue, my bad.
but on those streams, some of those guys are in a part of that group chat as well.
Got it.
So yeah, like post pandemic, these guys came out like diamonds.
Strong.
Yeah, they came out like diamonds. So I mean, I think for the people that took it for what it was and were able to still make a living, definitely. But there's some people that they just didn't come back from it. You know, it's a little bit of both, man.
Well, I think overall it was positive for the artist community, just because people realize the importance of art. Like,
We took it for granted.
it's like, yo, like, what would you do if these writers weren't writing these shows that you're watching on Netflix? What would you do if these DJs weren't?
They come out with Tiger King.
Or these production companies couldn't afford to do these live streams so that while you're home you can actually watch DJs. Like, you know, like, what would you do? What have you done? What kept you going? It was like there was still music and art and shit that you could like consume, you know? And it's like,
That's right.
so like the importance of art. And then I think like, you know, the people that couldn't make it out,
They probably weren't gonna make it anyway. Yeah.
I'm glad you said it. It sounded cold when I was gonna say it, but you know, it's probably for the best that if you weren't really about this,
Yeah. And you know what?
that you took a step back.
And that's not to say that's a bad thing
And
either.
just to take
you
a
know?
step back, right? Like some of us had to go harder because like this is our thing that we're trying to do with our whole lives. Other
don't
people
really
were
have
like, "Oh,
another
this is a
choice."
hobby thing. I'm gonna just step back from it." And it's fine. And I'm not.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. That's what I'm
not
saying.
hating
Because
on the
like,
hobby is.
I know like a lot of
It
people
just definitely
too,
cleared up the field for those of us who were like, we're really about this. We were able to shine more because people were like, "Oh, these are the fools that even in a global pandemic, they're still trying to put out music and shit," you know?
That's right.
And that might sound fucked up. I'm sorry if that sounds insensitive. And like we said it on that episode, we know a lot of people lost their lives and family, and there was like a big tragedy to it. But we're just, you know, two things could be true at the same time. It could be true that it was a complete tragedy that could have been, you know, better mitigated, and like so many people lost their lives and they didn't have to. And at the same time, it could be true that you know, time that let artists like take a break and reflect and get unemployment and stimuluses and, you know, be able to focus on their shit, and other people realizing they weren't really about it like that, you know, and that it was actually somewhat beneficial for folks to be able to take a break. I mean, those things could both be true.
Yeah, definitely.
Let's move on before we get scrubbed for this one too. So back then you were separating like the DJ stuff from the band stuff.
That's right.
And you weren't even like spinning metal or metal shows or like, and now that's not so true anymore either, right? It's kind of all like mixed in, right?
I think that's what's kind of happening now because there's like less bands. For sure there's less bands. So like there's a lot more opportunities now for myself, like as like, you know, I was like a metalhead. I was into alternative music before I started doing the DJ thing. I'm getting a lot of gigs that are like, you know, for emo nights, you know, a lot of like gigs where they want me to just spin alternative shit. And then like, you know, it's becoming like in demand. Like people want to go out and like hear shit that they remember. You know what I mean? Drink a beer and like, you know, listen to freaking Let the Bodies Hit the Floor or some shit like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Nostalgia. And also diversity, right? Like it's like you go out and you hear the same shit over and over again.
That's right.
Like you recognize, and oh, this is something different,
Yeah.
right? They're doing something different here. And alternative spins, is that thing still happening?
You know what? The last alternative spin that I tried to do, and this was the nail in the coffin for me as far as as far as like doing shows with bands and stuff. I literally had every single band on the last one completely just drop out. And
that wasn't the Border X one, right?
No, this was at no, the Border X one was amazing. That's like probably like, I'm hoping that's gonna be the second most successful thing I've done. For now,
because we're about to get there.
Yeah, for now, that is the most successful thing I've done.
We're literally about to wrap up
but,
this fucking
so yeah, like
recap
every
and
single
everything.
band dropped out of that thing, and prior to that, every alternative spin that I've done, there's always been one band that drops.
Yeah.
And this was the first time that every single band dropped, and I just said to myself, you know what? I think it's time to hang it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the amount of money that I throw behind ads and promotion, the amount of time I spend making content for those shows, it's not really appreciated by some of those people, just like people in bands, because they don't really understand it. And I'm not disparaging them for that, because I used to be a band dude. I get it, you know, where I think it's easy for someone to make like a promo video. It's easy for someone to make a design. You know what I mean? I've been that guy, so I'm not judging them for that. But just as far as like wasting my time, I'm done doing that.
Yeah.
You know, because like that's like a day where I missed out on a very big paycheck. You know what I mean? Like I missed, like, you know, like I took a hit. You know what I mean? And you know, for a lot of people, they just don't get that. You know, they don't understand that like I invest a certain amount of money, I expected to get some of it back.
Right. Yeah.
And like it's all gone. And to them, they're just like, let's just bail. So so for now it's shelved.
Well,
But
it's like it's not theirs, right?
Right.
They have no ownership of it.
But you know what?
They
I will
don't feel
I will
dedicated
say
to
this
making
though:
it
if
happen.
I ever find the right situation, meaning like the right venue, the right circumstances, I will do it again. However, right now, like it's shelved. I'm not even logged into that account. That's how bad it is. I mean, let's put it this way: I'm not logged into my band's account either. It's on that. They're on the same shelf right now.
So inhuman atrocities and alternative spins
they're
are on the
hiatus.
shelf. They're on the shelf.
hiatus.
They're on the shelf.
I like hiatus. Hiatus sounds good. It sounds a little bit more like, all right, they're just retooling, restructuring some debt. Right?
I mean,
it's like
indefinitely.
It's like the equivalent. Those two things are in the equivalent of like Chapter 11. Where we're just restructuring some debt.
Oh my god! I totally missed my mouth laughing at you, dude. Fucking A. Okay. Well, so let's talk about why we're actually here. You reached out to me because you want to do this podcast to promote an event that you have coming up. We've already mentioned alternative music and emo and different sound and different events, and we've already mentioned Border X and how successful your event was there. Now you're bringing all this shit together, right?
That's right.
What is this? This is BMO?
Yeah, that's what I'm calling it. It's BMO, Border X emo.
It's also gonna be like B emo.
There's a lot of different ways that you do it. That's why. The funny thing is, like the logo, I literally envisioned it maybe 6 months ago, where I was just like.
It also looks like Bevmo.
There's a Bevmo. I feel like it has a lot working for it.
It has a lot working for it. That's a good way to put it. It has a lot working for it.
It works on a few different levels, and then so basically, like I said, I did the Alternative Spin Summerfest at Border X. And it was like, possibly the most successful thing I've really done all year. And then immediately after that, I was like, okay, the next thing I want to do here is an emo night, right? But like my style of emo night, because like what my page is called is not emo night.
And I was gonna ask about that, but let's get the commercial out of the way.
For sure. So basically, immediately after that, like I envisioned the logo in my head. I was like, I know exactly what I want it to look. I want it to look like kind of collegey. I kind of want to look retro. You know what I mean? Kind of soft. And then I literally designed it like 6 months ago, and then it's just been sitting, just waiting for like the right time. And then like after these last three, I've done 3 emo nights so far at the Shuttle Bar, and then after
shout out the Shuttle
Bar. I'm actually heading there for their emo night tonight to go support my buddy B-Loke.
Oh word! I'm gonna be there on Saturday.
That's what's up. Okay.
Maybe we head over there together after.
That'll be that. Yeah.
Maybe we do that.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
All right, if anybody's watching and wants to pull up the Downey later, she might be able to run into Shneaky and Linus over there.
So after those 3, I said, you know what, it's time. I mean, because I need a bigger venue if I really want to give this thing a run for its money. So I hit up you for his number first because I got a new phone. I lost a ton of numbers. And then I hit him up.
And I'm no gatekeeper. I gave you that shit.
And you know what? And then let me just say that too, man. You're like one of like the biggest allies I've had throughout this whole DJ fucking thing. So cheers, mate. Appreciate you so much, dude.
You totally went Australian right now. Cheers, mate.
But yeah, man.
Well, for me, I mean, just to comment on that, thank you for that compliment. It means a lot to me because that's kind of what I'm all about. And like to me, it's like I like to think that we're not in a scarcity mindset. Like I like to think that we're like there's an abundant amount of space. There's an abundant amount of gigs and opportunities. And even with the the pandemic and everything and like shutting stuff down, like that wasn't always true, but I still feel like there's room for everybody,
Yeah. It's a feast, not a family.
And it's actually I think it's better for everyone if there's more things happening.
Yeah.
Maybe not necessarily on the same day,
right?
But just like
everyone's kind of collectively creating a culture.
Like why are we going to have some kind of monotonous thing where like why would I want to be somewhere every Saturday?
That's right. Yeah.
Unless they're paying very well, it's like bring something else in, like mix it up.
That's right.
Like let me go somewhere else. But if everybody's like building this kind of like network and just like an environment to say like, hey, we do crack and stuff, like I feel like it's better for everybody.
Sure. Yeah.
Like people know that the Shuttle pops now because of all the different things that happen there.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
And like because of your nights, I can get away playing more rock shit because rock people show up knowing that sometimes they play rock here. You know,
it's like, my favorite one is like when like because they have like their regular people that show up. But when you play like a metal or rock song that they vibe with, like those guys are the best. They're out there playing air guitar with the pole with the pool poles and
Or
shit.
I'll play something and then someone will be like, "Well, I heard you play this song.
Can you play?
Can you play this song?"
That's
It's like,
right, that's
yes,
right.
I would love to play
Sure,
that
buddy.
song. I wasn't sure if anybody would like it.
I didn't think you knew it. I didn't think you knew it. Yeah, all right, yeah, man.
So not emo night. Why is it not emo night?
Okay.
And what is emo night and what is not emo night?
So this is what originally happened. I still DJ for emo rapper Lil Used, right? He's actually performing at BMO. I'm performing with him as well, but I would perform with him a lot. I went on tour with him, and then I kind of started meeting other little emo rappers and stuff, and then I kind of realized a lot of them lived around Southeast LA. Some live in Pico, some live in Paramount, a lot in Compton. And I was like, okay, there's not really an outlet for these people here. A lot of them are traveling all the way to Hollywood to play gigs. So I was like, fuck it, let me just.
Which is the same story that's always been for this area, is that like we have to
There's
travel
no
far and
community,
wide.
There's no culture.
Yeah.
So I was like, you know what? Let me just try this out. And I did it for a while.
Or there is culture, but it's homogenous, right? It's like a lot of like
Yeah.
Latin culture, a lot of Paisa culture, a lot of like.
I mean culture for like people like us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I just didn't want to. I didn't want to make people think that like there's no culture here. Like, nah, there's hella culture here, and that's what creates all these great artists in the area, and that's what creates all these great. There's hella culture here, but then they get to a point where they're trying to express themselves, and if they don't fit into like
that box,
then it doesn't work here.
doesn't
They have
work
to
out
go
here.
to more hip alternative spaces,
something a little bit
counterculture.
Shit. So like I was
shit
doing
that your tias didn't want you doing, like.
So I was doing that for a while, right? But then after like I was doing it for a while, I was even getting other gigs for other like trap metal and emo rap shows. But what I kind of started realizing is like, a lot of rappers, like, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to disparage rappers, but a lot of them are just like, what's the word? I don't know any other words. A lot of them are shitheads. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
can you expand as you sit across from a rapper?
it's because, okay, a lot
Am
of them,
I a shithead to you?
No.
All
But
right,
like,
good.
let me explain what
Let
I
me
mean.
pack my bowl.
Okay, like there's a lot of times
I was
that,
heated.
like,
Let me pack my bowl.
there's a lot of times where I've done gigs for like these guys where I bring my equipment. I'm running sound all night. I'm also DJing, and like I do it, for like very like literally like at a loss. But I do it because I'm all about the community. I'm all about building a culture. Like I want to do those things. I want to be at the forefront of that.
Right.
But then when they start like kind of disrespecting my gear, disrespecting me, doing shit like that, you know what I mean? Like, and they don't realize the amount that I'm sacrificing just to be here so they can scream their lyrics on a mic. I started being like, you know what? Like, I don't want to do this anymore. You know what I mean? So I left it alone, and I logged out of that page.
So I think that's like, okay, so
And that's why it was called not emo night, because it wasn't emo night. It was rap, but emo rap.
Got you.
That's the whole.
That's how it started.
That's how it started.
Was that this is not like us? This is not emo music or
not
emo
emo-
bands. This is like emo rappers.
Emo rappers, yeah.
Got it.
That was the whole thing.
Got it.
So I started shortly after that. I started working at Shuttle, and then Sammy, Sammy, shout out to her.
She's like, I want real emo
Yeah,
shit.
she asked me.
I don't want emo rappers. I want
she was
real
like,
emo
can you do an emo night? And I was like, I mean, I could if you want. And I didn't even think like they were gonna go for it, the owners, but she got the green light, and then that's when I did the first Freemo.
No, and they've had emo nights. I mean, I've done there.
That's what she's told me, that like they've been like sabotaged one way or another.
Let's not
even bring that up.
Yeah, I don't know, man. That's a conspiracy theory.
That's for the Patreon episode,
Wow,
people.
the fact that we're bringing Patreon up. The last episode had Patreon too.
You're gonna have to log it. You're gonna have to subscribe to the Patreon to hear that story.
No,
but
yeah, you're gonna have to come meet us up at the Shuttle. Talk to Sammy yourself. Figure out what she means.
So yeah,
get it from the source. Don't get it from us.
So when she told me that, I said to myself, okay, I can't really promote this show completely on the Linus page, because at the time I was also working a lot of other places. A lot of what I was doing was like reggaeton, hip hop, stuff like that. So if I was promoting these two things that are like, basically they clash, they're like polar opposites. I felt like it was gonna hurt my reach for the other events. So that's why I was like, okay, let me bring back the Not Emo Night page, ironically, and then I'm gonna like promote an emo night show on that page.
Got it.
And then it took off. Like it.
Got it.
Okay, look, this is.
I mean, that's smart, because I feel like that's kind of what's happening with my page right now. Is that like I'm just promoting too many different types of things.
Yeah,
and
it's
not,
tough.
It's not working.
It's tough. So it's like you need more than one vehicle, I feel like. Because if not, then like it gets bogged down, and then the people that really do fuck with you, they're like, they don't want to anymore, because the shit that they liked you for, they're not seeing it anymore. So it's like, you know, it was kind of like, you know, it was a good, like, what's the word I'm looking for when it's like a blessing in disguise or whatever. Because like I started doing it, and like the first show I dropped
Serendipitous.
Jesus, dude.
I'm a rapper who's not a shithead. I'm not a shithead rapper, bro. I was like, this motherfucker. That's serendipitous.
Oh my god.
Serendipitous.
Serendipitous. Okay.
That's the word. That's the word. It was serendipitous. That's the word. Is that not the word?
No, you nailed it. That's why I was
word,
like, I was blown away. But yeah, so what happened is I did the first show, the first Freemo, and I dropped maybe like, I want to say like $80 on ads, you know, made a little bit of content. And in my head, I thought it was going to be empty. You know what I mean? Because like I'm used to like things that I try to do at first just being completely dead. So I showed up there like thinking, all right, this is going to be another long night. It was a Thursday. Thursdays are were very hard at Shuttle. Now they're actually pretty fucking good.
Right.
So I get there. And then I'm done setting up, and immediately I see like a girl with like the used shirt, like, you know what I mean? I was like, oh,
it's working.
I was like, oh my god, no. And then I was like, okay, we have one. I will play music for this girl all night.
That's the point.
I'll run all the albums.
It was for her.
I'll run all the albums.
It was for her.
I'll run all the fucking albums. I don't give a shit. And then as the night progressed, people that I knew, like personally, came to support it. People that I haven't seen in a long time came that first time to support it. And just random people that like found the event from the ads also showed up that first night. And then, you know, I found myself at the end thinking like, wow, that was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. And I was like, okay, we need to keep going. And then I don't know if you've seen any of the content I've put out recently. All of the videos that I have on the Not Emo Night page and on my page that I've been promoting this event, they're all from the second time that I did it there, which was fucking bananas. Like there's a video like of a legitimate like mosh pit going on in the middle of Shuttle Bar.
I've seen the videos, yeah.
And I'm just like, what the fuck? The thing is, I didn't even know because before I would play in the corner, so I couldn't really see what was going on. I saw that it was hyped, but I had no idea there was like a legitimate pit going on with people.
What corner?
You know, in the corner where they had the big table?
Yeah.
That's like where I would spin before, but then towards the end, I brought my own little table and I would spin in front of the jukebox.
You couldn't see it from that table?
I couldn't.
Oh, you're short.
Oh, motherfucker. Oh, god damn it. You're on a roll today, Shneaky. You're a fucking piece of shit. Yeah, you gotta be careful with Shneaky. He'll fucking sneak up on you. Oh, that's probably where he gets the name.
Come on. It's too easy, bro. It's too easy. I was like, I can see from that corner perfectly.
So yeah, like, you know, like I had no idea until like because I hired a guy to do video that night, and then I told him, hey, send me all that footage. Like I'm gonna make some promo stuff, and I thought, oh, maybe I'll get like a few videos out of it. I'm pretty sure I have content for like the next 3 months if I really wanted to like push it.
Excellent.
You know what I mean? Like just from that one night.
Well, I mean that's what you're using to push this emo.
This event, yeah, that's right.
So what's the date?
It's gonna be December 17th.
December 17th.
Saturday.
At Border X.
in Bell. That's right.
You heard it here, folks. Make sure you show up if you like fucking crying and shit. Because I know I do.
If you like getting hyped too, because like that's the thing about it, it's not emo night. So I blur the lines between emo music very like. You know?
I mean, you have to play for people who are there for the not emo
for the
night.
not emo night. That's right. You know?
The
diehards.
If they showed up and they're like, I came because sometimes they play funk in this motherfucker. I like reggaeton, sir.
You know what
Bad
happened?
Bunny? Everybody's requesting
You
Bad
know what
Bunny.
happened at that second emo night where it was like all hot and shit?
Yeah.
Okay, like it was popping towards the end, like maybe like, you know, 12:30 to 1. People start filtering out. But then, you know, the weird thing at Shuttle, like
there's like a late crowd,
there's a late crowd that
that
shows
way,
up,
that last
and it's
wave,
like,
yeah.
and it's like this group of girls, they're dressed to the nines.
Yeah.
And they hit me with the play Bad Bunny, and I was
know
like,
exactly what you're talking about.
And this was a
They
beautiful.
have like a late rush,
Yeah.
like a wave. There's this wave at the
That's
end
right.
that comes in like around like 11:30
But
midnight,
bro.
like almost 1 o'clock, and they're there to like drink and they're trying to shut it down.
Yeah, that's
they're
right.
like, this is our last stop.
This was the beautiful moment in that time.
They
Because
were down with the emo shit.
No, what I did is I fucking played Bad Bunny. And it was this beautiful moment where all the emo
Bad
kids,
Bunny's low key an
Emo,
emo
right.
rapper, like, you know.
But
like, if you want to be,
it was this cool moment where like those chicks were dancing, and all the emo kids that had girlfriends there, they were fucking shaking their asses too. It was fucking beautiful. It was like this. I was like, this is a party. Like this is what Not Emo Night's about. I'm gonna play whatever the night calls for.
That's right.
You know what I mean? Like
I mean,
I'm not
as a DJ, that's what you have to do.
No, and that's what some people don't get, and that's why you have to pay us what we fucking say. I mean, if like for that kind of like intuition, you can't buy that kind of fucking instinct.
No, yeah, actually, since we're talking about the shuttle and people there, was it the last time I was there? Or no, was it the last time? I think it was the last time I was there.
Okay.
The last time I was there, it was a weird night. All right.
As a lot of those are.
Yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
shuttle nights are weird.
So two
fine.
things happened. There was this one guy who was like, at first when he first walked in, I was playing reggaeton
Can I
and
take
shit.
a guess, please?
No, go for it.
Let me take a guess. Did he fucking ask you to play Atomic Dog?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
no.
The amount of requests I've gotten for that song.
No, this guy walked in, and at first he was super hyped. I was playing all his reggaeton and stuff, and he started FaceTiming people. He's like, this fool's in Miami right now. He's like, this fool's in South America right now. Like, he's like, this fool's, he's just fucking FaceTiming as I'm DJing, right? So I'm like, all right, this fool's fucking digging it, right? And then he starts aggressively asking for salsa. Like, aggressive, I mean, he's yelling like, hey, dog, play some fucking salsa, bro. Like yelling at me, because obviously he has to yell, because like
You
it's
couldn't
loud.
you couldn't call over Dom like, hey, bro, can you
No.
the security guard?
There was no security guard. There was no security guard.
No.
No security guards.
No.
Or at least they weren't in sight. I don't know what was happening.
You were all alone.
I was all alone out there. Sammy wasn't even there to protect me. I was all by myself. Okay. So this fool was getting aggressive, right? At the same time this happening, there's this girl there with some dude, and he's sitting down, but she's dancing. She's like feeling it hard. So she's getting crazy. This fool's getting crazy in a different way.
Yeah.
She requests some songs. I oblige.
Claro.
Obliged. 2 songs, like, she
Very-
requested 2 different songs. Very, like, not even really but I obliged, right? I walk out to smoke. I walk back in, and this motherfucker's on my laptop.
No.
And at that point, one of the bartenders comes over and kicks him out.
Yeah, dude, like, hey.
And then this girl comes and requests another song, and I'm like, girl, this is song number, and she hasn't given no tip.
None.
No money, no reciprocation whatsoever, or maybe like $5. But at this point, it's like
even then, it's
$5
like,
ain't
fuck
shit, Because literally at the shuttle, I've had dudes give me $100 to play a song, easy. And I'm like, and I tell her like, yo, girl, this is your 3rd song you're requesting, and she gets an attitude, and she's like, if you're only gonna play what you like, you're not really a DJ.
The fuck
And
do
she
you know?
walks away, right? And then she goes on to dance to every fucking thing that I play.
It's so stupid. Like, unbelievable.
It's like, girl,
the nerve of
it's
some of these
because
people.
I play what I like and my music taste is exquisite. I like good shit.
Yeah, it's like,
That's what you're paying me for.
I'll tell you what you like.
I'm
okay?
telling you what you like.
I'll tell you what you like. Shut
I'm
up.
playing some shit that you wouldn't have even thought to request.
You know what's
But it's
funny?
in my fucking repertoire. And she's like, I love this song. I was like,
Yeah, bitch.
Yeah, but you didn't ask for it.
Yeah.
You didn't ask for this song.
It's so funny. We could
And
do
it's-
a whole separate podcast of just shuttle stories of
Oh
all
my
weird
God.
shit. That
Dude.
place is nuts.
That
That
pla-
place is nuts sometimes. dude.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's a new spot. It's taking over an old spot. It's bringing in people like that were already there.
It has
and
that
like
weird
new
back
people.
entrance too that I'm like never like secure about. I'm like, what's going on
I
back there?
never go
Like,
back there.
I never go back. Yeah, I was like, I'm just like, what's going on back there?
But you know what? But they have given us a place
lot.
to do our thing.
And I really appreciate that from them.
And at the end of the day, we salute you, Shuttle. All right, so not emo night at Border X. Tell us the lineup. It's you and
It's
this.
myself, and then I actually have, if you can believe it, a stand-up comedian coming in, who.
Well, let me tell you, I did their soft opening before they, back before they even did their grand opening,
Right.
and I brought a stand-up comedian, so it's not new.
It's not unheard of. But
I've also had a couple events where I brought comedians, so
But
it's
here's the
not
thing,
new.
though.
It's not
This
new.
guy
Is he an
legitimately-
emo comedian?
that's what it is. Yeah, he legitimately has a fucking emo stand-up set. So I'm a little excited for that. His name is Gilberto Gibby. Shout out to him.
Hey, shout out Gibby, and make sure to give me all these links so I can
Yes.
put them in the description.
Definitely.
And I will get this out ASAP. Yo, Los, my producer Los, make sure that all these links are in the description. Thank you.
Yeah, like and like I've seen.
Oh, that's
like,
Bartles Got Bars 47, by the way, if you want to know who helps me produce this show. Giving you your propers, giving you your flowers, Los.
flowers.
Never forget.
But yeah, dude, like I've seen videos of him online. He's a funny dude. So like I'm really looking forward to seeing like how much power he's got behind the microphone, and I'm really hoping he doesn't bomb, but I know that's a real possibility. But he's a good comic. He's funny as
Have
shit.
you been to Border X recently?
Have I? Fuck, no, probably not.
I would suggest you go and check in with the sound system.
Oh, I bring my own sound.
You're bringing your own sound. Smart.
Because
The last time I walked in
don't
there,
like
the DJ was
like, yeah,
he
no.
wasn't using the big. He wasn't.
Yeah,
using,
no,
he was
yeah, I
using
don't
the
even wanna-
monitors.
I don't even want to
He was
think
using
about
the monitors
that.
as mains. It was his trip.
Yeah, I don't even want to think about that. That's
I
why
told him I was gonna go help him, and then I just realized I never went. Sorry, guy, if you're watching. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
no, I bring my own sound there. Just like I don't want any mix-ups. You know what I mean? And you can't even play that loud in there, quote unquote. But like every time they have ska bands, I'm sure it's just cranking, right? It's like what?
Well, also in to that point though, the more people you have,
They just absorb
the
sound.
better it sounds.
Bro, my event there was packed. Like they should have never gave me any shit about volume.
They were giving you shit about volume. I mean,
I was just like, come on, y'all. Like, can we just?
we could do a whole other podcast. I could do a whole other podcast on Border X stories.
I'm just gonna
That
keep
would
coming
fucking-
back to
I could give you a whole podcast on Border X
episode
stories.
3. This is the Border X episode.
Dude, don't. Yeah, I could give you. You know what? I feel like I'm
God.
talking shit now. I should
Oh
also
my God.
I should also thank Border X because during the pandemic,
Oh no, yeah.
they gave me a job. You know, it wasn't a music-based job, but it helped me get through the shit, and you know, like they have helped me with like, you know, we've both helped each other to do dope things in the community. So shout Border X, we salute you. Look at us giving everybody their flowers today.
This is like, it's a great place. You know what I mean? It's a great location too. You know what I mean? So it's
I mean,
just
my
like,
dreams for that place is that it becomes like the Allen Theater 2, you know, like.
damn.
But it's just
That
like,
takes a lot of cooperation, though. You know what I mean?
yeah. No, I also just like it have to become a venue.
Yeah.
Like it's not a venue.
You have to hire someone to do sound.
And it has to like
Every
there
single
has to
night.
be some
Redistribution
thinking
of,
of
like,
the-
yeah,
there has
some
to-
reimagining.
it's
More or less.
it's called treatment. It
Treat-
needs,
oh, right, yeah,
it
it
needs a
needs-
sound
so it's
treatment.
not bouncing
it
all over the
needs a
place,
sound
yeah.
treatment. Even if you're just fucking putting giant foam things in the corners
You know
or
what?
things hanging down.
I think
like,
the most important thing is they need one person scheduling that's like really about it, and it's like really like
yeah, like a venue.
yeah, like really into like okay, this
Nah.
we're doing this.
And
with
again,
these
in their
people,
defense,
and
it's
there's
not
never-
easy to find.
No,
someone,
I know.
You know,
I
like,
believe me, I know.
and it's not like the
It's not a glamorous job either. It's not.
also, events are hard, man.
Yeah, you kidding
events
me?
are
You
hard,
telling
bro.
me, like, dude.
And if you have to like, if you have to you have to put the whole dependence of a place
On someone else,
on events.
Yeah.
And like their whole job is to make sure that the events
events-
pay for shit.
and they fucking.
that's
yeah, no.
that's high stress.
Yeah,
That's
so-
high stress.
You know what? Maybe
low
maybe
reward.
we're a little out of pocket. Maybe David knows what he's doing. He's like, yeah, we're not doing that.
We're not doing
We're not
that.
doing that. We're gonna have casual events, but the
yeah.
money's gonna be in the
The
beer.
beer.
It's
You
gonna be the
gotta
beer.
focus.
And you know
on
what? Their
beer.
beer's great, bro. They got those micheladas with the freaking
And they
cucumber.
got the beer thug. They got the beer thug life. Is that his name? Thug beer thug life, right? Yeah, they have a whole other brewery in there that's bringing a whole other flavor and a whole other.
Yeah, and
a whole other
they keep making beers named after like ska bands. That's kind of cool. I think that's like for the culture. So that's what's up.
Yeah, I mean that's a whole deal they worked out with Mi Grito, My
Grito,
Grito.
yeah.
Fucking, that's a record
Those
label that
kids.
works out of there.
Yeah, those kids are crushing it, man.
Those are not kids. Those
I
are
call everybody that does music kids. you
those
know
are
what I mean? Like-
men that are running that
are
label.
grown
I
men.
those are grown men. No, seriously.
I'm sure they wouldn't take offense to me calling them kids. I wonder if they would.
I'm pretty sure they would.
Oh,
I'm
God.
offended for them.
Really? Everybody's so fucking sensitive nowadays.
Nah,
I didn't
but
mean anything by
because
it.
you gotta realize, bro, there are really kids in this industry.
That's true.
Who are running this shit like children that have shit themselves.
Yeah, they have like fucking millions of followers on TikTok, right? They put.
There are
They're
children in
driving
this
around-
game, bro.
they're
There are
driving-
real children in this
They're
game.
driving around in Lamborghinis and
There
shit.
are real children in this game, bro. And so you know, like you have a pair of adult men who are fucking running some shit with like contracts, and they're trying to make money for their artists. And you call them kids. I'd be like, what the fuck, man? We're doing this shit legit.
Yeah,
We're legit out here.
I always like for my friends' bands, I always refer to them like like say for example my friends in All Seeing Eye. I'm like, oh, the All Seeing Eye kids. Yeah, I know them. You know what I mean? Because that's the way I used to talk when I was a kid playing in bands. You're like, oh, like.
Well, let me tell you something, Linus. Your language and how you define things it's instrumental in how you see and perceive things. You know what I mean? So like I hate like I'll give you an example.
Okay.
Like I'll meet someone who I've known for a long time, and tell them like, oh yeah, like they'll be like, oh what are you up to? And I'm like, oh yeah, like I'm DJing and doing music and rapping and this and that. And they're like, oh, that's dope that you have a hobby, bro. Like it's
Oh,
dope.
I know.
And it's like,
But I think I'm not giving off that hobby vibe, like where I'm selling someone shit as a hobby. I'm not.
But I
doing
feel
that.
like that
They could take it that way.
That kid's commentary could be like, because this is shit that children do. Like, like we're adults in the music game.
Music industry. Yeah, that's right. All right.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like, come on, bro, give us some respect. We've been here. We were kids in this shit. Like, I was a kid playing music before. I'm like, come on, man, I'm not a kid no more. Like, I've literally like. Bands have broken up and been reformed. I've had to like leave music, come back to music. It's like, come on, man. Like I'm not a kid anymore, bro.
You adapt the plan, I guess, and then you graduate from kid status. I understand.
Yeah,
that.
bro, it's not
But
fair. It's not fair. It's not fair.
I don't know.
To you.
I just thought it was funny.
All right, maybe I'm too lit and sensitive now. Maybe we should rap. Do you have any other things you want to talk about?
What, dude? Low key, I just got a fucking message from Sammy. She's like, "Hey, where is your friend? Like the buddy that got to DJ you one night."
No!
So crazy.
Because it's 9:00.
It's about to be 9. And he hasn't set up yet.
Fuck!
You heard it first, Twitch.
Wow!
Damn, I'm gonna tell you. You want me to pull up?
You have your gear on you?
No.
I have my gear on me. You want me or Shneaky to pull up?
Nah. I don't know.
That's wild, bro. See what happens when you put people on?
I know, and I just recommended him for the Veil and DTLA too.
You know what? Well, we've almost been going for an hour. I think we have some good. We talked about everything we wanted to talk about.
So.
Well, let's get off here and handle this crisis real quick.
Okay, yeah. Let's see what's up.
I was planning to do a marathon and start gaming right after Linus left, but I might end up going with him to the Shuttle. So I'll see you later, Twitch, either later on tonight or later in the future. And we are out.
Thank you.
Wait for it. Oh, you know what? Hold on. You want to tell people where they can find you online?
Oh,
and
yeah.
all that?
Any platform at Linus the DJ.
And how do you spell that?
LINUS THE DJ. Linus the DJ.
Linus the DJ. All right, cool. But that's not your DJ name.
It is not.
How do you spell your DJ name?
My DJ name, for everybody out there, if you ever put me on a flyer, please listen to this podcast. Capital N-L. Shit.
I'm gonna cut this clip, so just start it again.
Leave it in.
No. I'm talking about when I
okay.
send it to you. You could be. You don't have to say listen to this podcast. You could be like, just for anybody who's putting my name on a flyer. So just start from there.
God.
Ready, go.
Anybody who's putting my name on a flyer, please listen to this podcast. Okay, it's capital LINUS, no space. Capital DAYZ.
I am at official Shneaky, SHNEAKY, no C. Rec Respect Pod, like it says down here at the bottom. And we are out.